Welcome, fellow modelers. We are back here with a P&D update. I recently got a whole box full of goodies, as some of you who are on the Facebook group um, saw, or on the Ethern group as well on Facebook. Uh, Get a all the power, almost all the power over here, sitting over here. I As you guys can see, I kind of cleaned up my sink and moved some horn parts over there. Kind of make some room over here because my workstation was very overpowered with the power. Um, had all my tracks full and didn't have anywhere to work really because I had shells and halfway completed locomotives just sitting all over the place. So I kind of cleaned it up so I could have get some just basically to just get some photos. The stuff that's on rolling frames is going to go back on the tracks, but then I will have my free space there to work on some of the stuff. As you've seen over here, I do have one unpainted SW 1500. Used to be a red Suline. You guys can still see some of the red on there. I'm still kind of working on stripping that as good as I can. Doesn't have to be 100%, but 99% would be nice. Um, and then we'll just kind of run through some of the power that I got sitting here, or locomotives that I have sitting here. Um, we have a nice little group of F7As and Bs, just 2B units, and then 5 F7A units, all single headlights. I specifically was after single headlight shells. And as you can see from some of them, I've started to remove the dynamic brake fan and some of the steam generator stuff. These will be for freight service, and the majority of stuff isn't or doesn't have dynamic braking capabilities. Of course, some of the SDs are keeping their dynamic brakes. Some of the bigger stuff is keeping its dynamic brakes. I just ordered today all new non-dynamic replacement hoods for the GP50s. I don't have one for the one GP40 that's right here. And then the GP35 that I have sitting here, I'm probably just going to leave the dynamic fan on that. I could cut and trim it all off, but that is a huge hassle. And with me already having some locomotives with dynamic brakes, it's not bothering me that some of the stuff is going to have dynamic brakes, but most of it isn't. Basically, what I'm going for here is my kind of with exceptions with the GP35. The bigger road power is going to have dynamic brakes. Of course, a lot of the UCs don't, but all the SDs do. I have two SD45s, an SD40P, an SDP40. There we go. I think I am going to leave the steam generator equipment on the back of this one because I do have some older Rapido passenger cars, and I might do a little daily transit with my railroad and kind of allocate those cars for that, and maybe have this unit be the sole passenger unit, because that's not going to be a huge thing that I'm doing as passenger. The majority of it's going to be big heavy freight trains, a lot of switching, so I'm not really I'm not saving these for passenger service. And I'd rather see them in freight service, but I probably will eventually, after years later, when I have a layout and all is said and done, I probably will do like a special run of having a ABBA set up with some passenger cars. But I'm kind of modeling, and I think I've touched on this before. My railroad is, the Pontiac in Detroit. Basically, I'm having it be a lot of auto industry stuff. With me growing up in Michigan, early '90s and late '80s, auto industry was still doing pretty good through those times. Of course, it really fell off as soon as the 2000s hit. Just slowly took a nosedive, and a lot of the stuff that I grew up seeing switched out, got torn down. Tracks were torn out, so um, I'm going to basically have this railroad be my freelance fantasy railroad of a still bustling 80s 90s auto industry, and do a lot of ferrying between Pontiac and Detroit, and Detroit and Pontiac. So that's what the bulk of this is going to be. I do want to do intermodal trains, uh, probably even some grain, but not do full grain trains. Grain will probably just be in manifests, along with a lot of other random stuff. So, and then so yeah, so I'll just kind of run through. So you guys saw the F7As and Bs. We have a U33B, a U30B, the GP35, GP40-2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 GP50s. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GP38-2s, another U33B, a U28B, U30C, U33C, U30B, a U30, another U30B, 3 U30Cs. Sorry, I don't know why my camera's kind of sketchy there. Two more U30Bs, two SD40-2s, U33C, another U30C, 4 U28Cs, 2 SD45s, 2 SD40-2s, the SDP40, let's see, we got 3 U33Cs, and then another U30C. Sorry about my camera, guys. I don't know why it's jumping around like that. But yeah, that's the whole crew there, pretty much. Like I said, I got a couple others that are going to join. Some are going to be Athearn Blue Box, but as you can see, the majority of it is going to be Athearn Blue Box. So, and that's pretty much it. Just a little update of a lot of stuff that I've gotten in. I am now on the hunt for a lot of frames. Some of these are just shells, so I'm on the hunt for frames, trucks, railings, all that stuff. Kind of go through what I want for details, what I want for plows, antennas, warning beacons, all-weather windows, and kind of go from there. So just a little update, guys. I'm not going to make this video too long, just something so you guys can kind of see the whole crew here. But yeah, got quite the fleet here. Pretty excited. It's going to be a lot of paint work, a lot of decal work when the time comes. And like I said before, you guys will see some paint updating during the summer. I don't know if I'm going to get around to painting all these this summer, but I definitely want to get some of my junk shells out and get some paints out and kind of experiment with paint schemes. One thing I really want to do is kind of have two different paint schemes. Not necessarily a different lining of the paint, because I'm going to keep things pretty simple, just to make it easy on me when it comes time to painting. But I want to do a one paint color for the early or original locomotives to the fleet, and then do a newer paint scheme, or a newer color combo, I should say, for the slightly newer locomotives. So kind of have like a heritage paint scheme and then like a modern paint scheme for them. But still make sure everything looks good for like 80s, 90s era. So that's pretty much what I got going on so far, guys. Just a lot of getting things mocked up, getting things together, trying to find the parts that I need, and start going through details, ordering details that I need, getting those on, and then some of the paint stuff can actually start happening. So, um, hope you guys enjoyed the little update here on the P&D Railroad. And until next time, take care.